all of the work that we've been doing so far has been from files that I've already had open. So up here we've got our open options, and that would just take me straight away to the last folder where I was opening a file and I was working from that. What happens if we want to start from a new file? In actual fact, what happens if we want a template already pre-made for the way that we're going to be working? Well, if I type, or if I click on rather, the new file option, what that does is it automatically takes me to my select a template option. And you can see that what we have here already is drawing templates which are already set up for you prior to you starting AutoCAD. They ship with the product. So when we look at some of these, we've got sort of a manufacturing metric, we've got an electrical metric, we've got a civil metric. So these are all set up to be the way that you want to work. But say there's something specific that you want. Well, in actual fact, I'm going to open up my standard AutoCAD ISO file, and that's just a template. So that will take a few moments and up it pops. Okay. What I'm now going to do is to make one or two changes to this file just so that it becomes my file. One of the things I'll do is I'll open up my layer properties, and I'll probably create 2 or 3 layers. There you go, just 3 layers, and we'll call one end, and we'll call let's see, just right click and let's rename this layer, and let's call this one start, and let's right click and let's rename this one and let's call this middle. So end, middle, start, and we'll make our start layer top one, and I'm going to change the color of each one of these layers. Blue, there we go. Let's lock that open, and I'll make this one green. Okay, so let's say for example those are the 3 layers that we're going to be using, so I can close that down. Let's also go and check by right clicking our snaps and make sure that they're all okay. Yep, they're fine. Maybe I don't want center point, so I'll turn that off and click OK. And maybe I want my line weight as well, so show hide line weight. Also, from my menu tab at the top here, if I go to my drawing utilities and I go to my units, perhaps I want to make sure that my precision is set to 0 rather than point some ridiculous number of a millimeter. Click OK onto that. Maybe from my annotate as well, I want to create a new text style, so I'll do that. So I'll say new, and I'll call this, I'm being very facetious here, I'll just call it mine. And I will make that, yes, I'll stay with Arial, but I'll make it annotative, and I'll make sure that its paper height is 5 millimeters. Set that as current. It's already been applied, and I'll close. So now, if I want that to sit within my install directory of AutoCAD, and I want that to be there every time I click new file, what I'll do is I'll say menu, save as, and what I'm going to do is, instead of being an AutoCAD 2010 DWG, I will save it as a drawing template. And when I click on drawing template, I am automatically taken to my install directory for AutoCAD into the templates folder. So this is automatically saying, okay, you want to be a template, I'm going to go straight to my templates folder. Now I'm going to call this my start file. Again, very facetious. Obviously you call them whatever you need to call them, and I'll save that. So I've got a little bit of a description that I can put in here, a little bit of sort of data. We can talk about reconciled and unreconciled layers, which we'll talk about in our preferences a little bit later, and then I'll click on OK. So I'll close this drawing down, and I'll say new template, and within there what we are going to find is a DWG file within the templates folder called My Start File. So I'll select that, I'll click on Open, and to prove this is mine, you can see we've already got the start file there, and I've got my middle, end and start with the start file selected. If I go to annotate and I go to my text styles here, you see we've got mine, which is the current one. We'll notice also that my dimensions are set as being whole millimeters as well. So there, just to prove that if you set your drawing up without doing anything to it, without creating any drawings, just set it up, then save that as a template. You can then pass that template around your whole drawing office and everyone will be starting from the same point.